You ever have one of those mornings where the whole world feels out to get you? Well, let me tell you about the winter I became public enemy number one in my own neighborhood because I dared to clear the street after a blizzard. I woke up at 3 a.m. to my phone vibrating like it was trying to shake itself off the nightstand. That emergency dispatch number, the one I'd had on speed dial for 8 years, flashed on the screen. Outside, Rochester, Minnesota was buried 2 feet of powdery white, the kind that makes grown men weep and minivans disappear. This was my life. I'm Tyler Carson, commercial snowplow operator, one of just 3 in the county certified to wrangle the big rigs needed to keep our city's main arteries open. Coffee in hand, insulated coveralls zipped, I stepped out into the frozen dark, my old plow truck hulking in the driveway, engine grumbling awake like a bear poked out of hibernation. Meadowbrook Estates, the subdivision I called home, wasn't even on my route that morning. But I always started by clearing my own street. Seemed neighborly. Folks like the Hendersons next door, she's got a bum hip, can't shovel snow, really depended on it. So I dropped my blade and started making slow, noisy passes down Willow Creek Drive. Not 5 minutes in, a porch light flares on at the corner McMansion. The one with the perfect lawn and the mailbox that probably costs more than my first truck. Out comes Brenda Morrison in a pink bathrobe, arms flailing like she's trying to land a 747. Even over the engine, I can see she's not waving hello. I finish my pass, throw the truck in neutral, roll down my window to an Arctic blast, and try my best Minnesota nice. Morning. I shout, but Brenda's not having it. You have any idea what time it is? It's 3:30 in the morning. Some of us are trying to sleep. Now, Brenda, she's the head of our HOA. She moved in 6 months back, muscled her way onto the board, and 2 meetings later, she's president. She's the reason I stopped going, couldn't listen to another rant about mailbox heights or paint color compliance without chewing drywall. I explain, I'm clearing the street. We got 2 feet last night, and I've got to get to my city route by 4:30. She cuts me off, robe pulled tight, voice laced with that special kind of HOA authority. There are noise ordinances, you're disturbing the peace. Your job can wait until a reasonable hour. I'm calling the police. I just about laugh. You're going to call the cops because I'm plowing snow after a blizzard? Section 12, paragraph 4. She barks, waving her phone like a badge. No loud machinery between 10 p.m. and 7 a.m. That's for lawnmowers, I say, not snowplows during emergencies. People need to get to work. Ambulances need to get through. But she's already dialing, righteous fury carved in her face. Whatever, I think, let her call. Cops have better things to do. I keep plowing. But sure enough, the flashing lights appear, Rochester PD, right in my mirrors. Out steps Officer Dan Kowalski, a guy I knew from high school. We weren't tight, but we'd thrown back beers at Murphy's a few times. He looked sheepish. Tyler, what's going on? I just pointed the street. Noise complaint, he says. Gotta respond. You go to ticket me for snow removal? Bun snorts. Hell no. I'll talk to her. He heads over, Brenda's voice carrying even though I can't make out the words. 5 minutes later, he's back. She's not happy, but snow removal's exempt from noise laws. You're good. He gives me a look, maybe skip her street for a while, but I can see even he knows this woman's not done. I finish the neighborhood and hit my official route. 8 hours clearing main roads and ramps. By noon, I'm home, dead on my feet, just wanting a hot shower. But taped to my door is a certified letter. Meadowbrook Estates, HOA, Brenda's signature right at the bottom. I'm being fined. Noise violation, unauthorized commercial vehicle operation, damage to common area property. $500 due in 30 days, and a demand to cease all snowplow operations in the subdivision. That's when tired turns to cold, hard anger. Damage? I've kept this street cleaner than the city ever does. Unauthorized vehicle? It's parked in my own driveway, same as always. I pull out the HOA bylaws. Sure enough, emergency services are exempt, and the vehicle restriction is about overnight street parking, not driveways. I write a polite letter back, lay out the facts, drop it at the community center. 3 days later, another letter. Appeal denied. Fine increased to $1,000. Threat to put a lien on my house if I don't pay. That's when I call Marcus Chun, lawyer who specializes in HOA disputes. His office is one of those old brick buildings downtown. Solid, no-nonsense guy. Gets to the point. HOAs have power, Marcus says, but not unlimited power. They can't override city ordinances or public safety. He lays out my options. Pay the fine and drop it, threaten legal action and hope they back down, or take it to court. I'm not rich, but the principle gnaws at me. If I cave, who's next? I tell Marcus, let's fight. He drafts a cease and desist, citing law and logic. The HOA's lawyer, Patricia Drummond, fires back, stonewalling. They're betting I won't pony up for court. Marcus says they can put a lien on your house if you don't pay, eventually even foreclose. That hits me in the gut, but I'm stubborn. File whatever we need. Months drag on. Legal motions, cold spring mornings, snow finally melting. Then in May, Marcus calls. The judge is holding a hearing. He needs every scrap of documentation I can find. City contracts, emails from grateful neighbors, before and after street photos, even a letter from Public Works saying licensed operators are encouraged to help in their neighborhoods. The hearing's in this stuffy, windowless courtroom. Judge Martha Hendress at the bench, Brenda and her lawyer glaring from across the room. Marcus walks the judge through everything: state statutes, municipal exemptions, case law from other towns. He shows my credentials, my city contracts, proof I'm not just some guy with a plow. Patricia argues the HOA's right to enforce rules, but Judge Hendress isn't buying it. She asks Patricia point blank, when did you expect the snow to be cleared? After it's frozen solid? Patricia waffles. Judge looks unimpressed. A month later, I get the ruling, every count in my favor. The fine vacated. Lientrit's gun. HOA order to pay my legal fees. But the best part, the judge calls out the HOA for personal animus and warns them about targeting homeowners. The HOA cuts the check, late of course, and I pay Marcus with a handshake and a bonus. But then summer rolls around and I notice my street, Willow Creek, hasn't been repaved like the rest. Budget constraints, the HOA claims. Sure, Brenda won't take my calls. My neighbors are fuming over potholes. Then comes the annual HOA meeting, 3 board seats up, including president. That's when it hits me. If you want to change the system, you have to get inside it. I start talking to neighbors. Turns out, I'm not the only one Brenda's targeted. The Patels fined for rock color, the Schneiders for an RV in the driveway, the Thompsons for a too-tall mailbox. Folks are fed up but felt powerless. Until now. I organize a Facebook group, recruit candidates, Jim Thompson, Maria Gonzalez, and, after some prodding, myself for president. On election night, the place is packed. Brenda gives her usual speech about standards and values, but this time, nobody's nodding along. I keep my pitch simple. The HOA should work for us, not against us. No more fines for helping neighbors. No more retaliation. Let's get back to common sense. 73 votes to 28. Landslide. Jim and Maria win too. Brenda storms out. First board meeting, we look at the books. Brenda spent the street repair money on landscaping her vanity project. We fix it. Street gets repaved come spring. We overhaul the rules. No more rock color nonsense. RV limit eased. Emergency services explicitly exempted. Transparency and fairness. Finally. But Brenda isn't done. Next winter, I find nails scattered across the street. I plow. Deliberate, targeted sabotage. Then sand and sugar dumped in my driveway. Sugar in a diesel tank would wreck it. I call police, install cameras, and sure enough, catch Brenda on video in the dead of night, bottle in hand, about to dump chemicals in my truck. Police come. She's arrested. Charged with criminal mischief, vandalism, stalking. The trial's quick. The video is damning. 18 months in county jail, 5 years probation, restraining order. It's over. The HOA, now under new leadership, sends me and others an apology. We put in stronger protections, term limits, transparency, fair appeals. Willow Creek Drive gets its smooth new asphalt. My neighbors throw a block party. I let the kids climb in the plow truck. I never get another complaint. Sometimes I find cookies or thank you notes on my porch. That whole saga, me, the snowplow guy who took on the HOA and won, became neighborhood lore. Some folks even ask for advice when their own HOAs act up. And you know what? I'm glad for it. Not just for me, but for everyone who'd ever been targeted by petty authority. We took our neighborhood back. Looking back, it wasn't about snow or noise or rules. It was about what happens when power goes unchecked, when rules become more important than people, and someone forgets that authority should serve, not punish. I learned you don't always need to fight fire with fire. Sometimes you just need to stand up, speak out, and trust your neighbors to see the truth. Now, on cold mornings when I'm out plowing before sunrise, I pause sometimes, watch the sky turn pink, listen to the quiet. The streets are clear, the neighborhood's safe, and I feel a quiet pride. That's what community should be. Not a set of fines or a battle of egos, but people helping each other out. So let me ask you, where's the line between order and overreach? What do you do when authority forgets its purpose? Ever had to fight for your right to just do the right thing? Drop your stories below, because I know I'm not the only one with a wild HOA tale. And hey, next time you see your local snowplow operator, maybe offer a coffee instead of a complaint.